So we are at NT.5, adding and subtracting integers, and I have to say this is one of my favorite lessons that I get to teach as a math teacher. The first question we have to ask is, what are integers? And integers are the numbers that you should like, with one tiny change. They're any whole number, so 0, 1, 2, and 3, and so on, plus their additive inverse. So any non-fraction, non-decimal. That's what you want to write down. When I say integers, non-fraction, non-decimal. So if I asked what numbers aren't integers, well, that's any fraction or decimal. So like 0.1 and 1/76 and -2/45. Okay? Non-fractions or fractions or decimals are integers. Non-fractions, non-decimals are integers. So we have gotten spoiled that so far this year we've only done positive numbers. Well, that's not how the real world works. If my bank account was always positive, you know, I'd have more money. I don't know. There was a joke there. I couldn't find it. So when we're working with a positive number plus a positive number on a number line, the idea is we're going to start at this first number. So in this case, it's 3. And then we're going to move to the right, because it's positive, the second number distance. So we're going to move 1 over, and our answer is 4. That seems silly because you already know how to do that, but I just want to show how a number line works. So down here, 4 plus 3, it's the same idea. We're going to start at 4, and we're going to move to the right because it's a positive. 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3, and we'll end up there, which is 7. Now that's all easy, but we're going to have some negatives mixed in, and it doesn't actually change how we do the problem, it just changes how it looks. So if we have a negative plus a negative, okay, what we want to do is we want to look at these two signs in the middle. Now we can't have a positive and a negative together. And if you look at the front of my board whenever you're in the classroom, you see positive numbers are that weak little guy, looks a lot like Mr. Evans, and you see the negative numbers, that big strong guy who looks a lot like me. And if those two were going to fight, well, the negative would always win. So in this case, the positive and the negative fight, and it turns into -1 minus 2, like that. So we're going to do the process just like we did before. We start at -1, but now instead of going to the right, we're going to go to the left. 2 numbers, 1, 2, and we're going to end at -3. So down here on the bottom, I'm going to change this 0 to a -4. So in this time, we're going to look in the middle, and we see the positive and the negative. They have to fight. The negative is always going to win. So it's -3 minus 4. So we're going to start at -3. We're going to move to the left because it's a negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to end up at -7. All right. So these are really similar to what we just did. So if we have a positive minus a positive, I want you to try these two on your own and see what you get. So for the first one, 6 minus 3 should have been easy. I just wanted you to be able to visualize. You start here, you move this way, and you end at 3. For this one here on the bottom, we're going to start at -2, and we're going to move to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we end at -7, which is a popular answer right now. Okay. Now, where it gets tricky, you know that a negative is always going to beat up a positive. But if we in the middle have 2 negatives next to each other, well, they are just going to beat each other up so badly that they're going to turn into a positive number. So if you have 2 negatives together, they turn into a positive. So this now becomes 3 plus 5. That looks just like what we've been doing for the past couple weeks. Turns into 8. Now we have -3. Well, these two are going to fight. Turns into -3 plus 2. So we're here. We have to move to the right. 1, 2. We're going to end up right there. So that's negative 1. Okay? So before we move on for these, there are 3 steps with these types of problems. We're going to extend the page down here. Okay? And I know it might be confusing now. That's fine. These will take a couple days minimum. Okay? This takes practice. Step 1 is you start at the left number. So for like this one up here, we start at negative 3. 2 is you figure out your direction. So for this problem here, we had 2 negatives in the middle next to each other, so we had to change that to a positive because 2 negatives cancel each other out, and you have to go to the right. Okay, on a problem where they turn into a negative, you'd have to go to the left. And then step 3 is you just answer your question. Okay, but this will take a lot of time, and that's okay. So I want you to try these on your own and see what you get. Now, feel free to draw out a number line if you'd like to. Okay, for this one up here, we're going to start at 4, and we're going to go to the left 8, which means we cross over 0, and we end up at negative 4. For this one, these two are going to fight, so we get 6 minus 4, and so our answer is 2. This, we started negative 3. We're going to move to the right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That crosses over 0 and ends at 2. For this one up here, we have 2 numbers in the middle, so they have to fight. Negative 2 minus 4. So we started negative 2. We're going to move to the left 4. We're going to end at negative 6. This one, same idea. We're going to start at negative 7. We're going to move to the left, so that number is going to get really small, become negative 12. Last one, these two have to fight. So it becomes 3 plus 2, turns into an easy problem. The answer is 5. Okay, these take a lot of practice. So when you come into class, we're going to work on a bunch of different stuff to practice this.